What if everything you've been taught about success, happiness, and how to live is wrong? What if the rules society handed you, go to school, climb the corporate ladder, retire at 65, are nothing more than outdated scripts, keeping you trapped in a life that feels more like a checklist than a masterpiece? This isn't a conspiracy. It's a culturescape, an invisible web of beliefs, traditions, and systems that dictate how we think, work, and love, often without our consent. In the Code of the Extraordinary Mind, Vishen Lakhiani, founder of Mind Valley and one of today's most disruptive thought leaders, pulls back the curtain on these illusions. He reveals how to break free from society's Brules, bullshit rules, and redesign your life from the inside out. This isn't about quick fixes or surface-level hacks. It's a radical rewrite of your operating system, blending cutting-edge neuroscience, ancient wisdom, and the habits of billionaires, artists, and spiritual icons. Imagine waking up every morning energized by a vision so compelling it pulls you out of bed. Picture a world where joy isn't something you chase someday, but a fire you carry within, fueling every step toward your grandest goals. This is what it means to bend reality, to live unshackled from fear, regret, and societal approval, to trade autopilot for awe. But here's the truth. Extraordinary living isn't reserved for the lucky or the born genius. It's a code, a set of laws that anyone can learn. Over the next 20 minutes, we'll dismantle the myths holding you back, rebuild your mindset from the ground up, and arm you with tools to engineer a life that doesn't just look good on paper, but feels like magic. Your journey to extraordinary starts now. Let's begin. Introduction. To understand how to crack this code, let's dive into the core ideas that make this book a game changer. In the Code of the Extraordinary Mind, Vishen Lakhiani crafts a revolutionary blueprint for transcending societal conditioning and designing a life of radical authenticity. This isn't just another self-help book. It's a manifesto for those who dare to question the invisible rules that dictate human behavior. Lakhiani, founder of the global education platform Mind Valley, draws from his own journey of abandoning a conventional career in engineering to explore mindfulness, entrepreneurship, and personal growth. He weaves together neuroscience, spirituality, and lessons from luminaries like Richard Branson and Brené Brown to challenge readers to redefine success, happiness, and purpose. At its heart, the book is about liberation, breaking free from the collective matrix of societal norms and replacing outdated beliefs with a personalized code for extraordinary living. Through 10 transformative laws, Lakhiani guides readers to engineer their reality, align with their deepest values, and create a legacy that transcends generations. The culturescape and its constraints. Now that we've seen how the culturescape holds us back, let's explore the first step to breaking free: awakening from autopilot. The culturescape is the invisible architecture of beliefs, traditions, and systems that shape human behavior from birth. Lakhiani argues that much of what we consider normal, career paths, marriage, religious practices, even our definition of happiness, is not universal truth, but a social construct. For example, the Western emphasis on individualism contrasts sharply with collectivist cultures, yet both systems impose unconscious rules. These rules, bullshit rules, often go unchallenged, such as the belief that suffering is necessary for success or that aging inevitably leads to decline. Lakhiani shares how his Malaysian Indian upbringing ingrained rules about academic achievement and financial security, which he later rejected to pursue entrepreneurship. The key is to conduct a Brule audit, questioning which norms serve growth and which perpetuate fear. One profound example is the education system, designed during the Industrial Revolution to produce obedient workers. Lakhiani critiques its focus on memorization over critical thinking, noting that innovators like Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg thrived by unlearning institutionalized thinking. Similarly, the culturescape's glorification of busyness equates self-worth with productivity, leading to burnout. By contrast, extraordinary minds prioritize leverage, systems, delegation, and automation to achieve more with less effort. This section challenges readers to identify Brules in their own lives, such as the pressure to marry by a certain age or equate wealth with worth. Lakhiani shares a case study of a client who left a high-paying law career to become a travel blogger, facing initial criticism but ultimately finding fulfillment. The culturescape's power lies in its invisibility. Once exposed, its grip weakens. Before we go further, let's pause. Imagine applying this to your own life. What rules are you blindly following? For instance, do you chase promotions because you want to, or because society says you should? Lakhiani also examines how media and advertising reinforce Brules by selling inadequacy. The beauty industry profits from insecurities about aging, while social media fuels comparison. He introduces the concept of cultural hypnosis, the state of passively absorbing societal narratives without scrutiny. To break free, one must adopt a model of reality that prioritizes growth, joy, and contribution. For instance, instead of chasing promotions to meet societal expectations, an extraordinary mind might design a career around flexible hours to prioritize family. This section concludes with actionable steps: journaling to uncover subconscious Brules, seeking mentors who live unconventionally, and gradually replacing fear-based decisions with values-driven choices. Now that we've seen how the culturescape holds us back, let's explore the first step to breaking free: awakening from autopilot. The awakening. From autopilot to consciousness. Awakening begins with the realization that most of our thoughts and behaviors are on autopilot, shaped by childhood conditioning and cultural programming. Lakhiani recounts his own awakening during a meditation retreat in Bali, where he confronted the emptiness of his corporate success. He introduces the 3 most important questions framework. What experiences do you want to have? How do you want to grow? How do you want to contribute? These questions shift focus from societal metrics, income, status, to personal fulfillment. For example, a parent might realize that working 80-hour weeks to afford a luxury home conflicts with their desire to be present for their children. Consciousness requires mastering the art of self-observation. Lakhiani recommends daily practices like mindfulness meditation to detach from reactive thoughts. He cites studies showing that meditation increases gray matter in brain regions linked to emotional regulation. A powerful exercise involves labeling thoughts as helpful or unhelpful rather than true or false. For instance, the belief, "I'm not good enough to start a business," can be reframed as, "This fear is normal, and I can learn as I go." This mental shift reduces the emotional charge of limiting beliefs. Let's take a breath here. Healing isn't about erasing the past. It's about integrating it into a stronger version of yourself. The awakening phase also involves healing past traumas that distort self-perception. Lakhiani shares his struggles with imposter syndrome despite Mindvalley's success, rooted in childhood comparisons to high-achieving siblings. He advocates therapies like EFT, emotional freedom techniques, and breathwork to release stored emotions. A case study features a woman who overcame a fear of public speaking by addressing a childhood humiliation incident. By revisiting the memory with self-compassion, She rewrote her narrative from "I'm a failure" to "I'm resilient," bending reality, the science of joy and vision. Bending reality is Lakhiani's term for harmonizing present-moment joy with relentless pursuit of visionary goals. He contrasts this with the common trap of delayed gratification, sacrificing happiness now for a hypothetical future. For example, an entrepreneur might grind through 18-hour days, believing happiness will come once the company scales. Extraordinary minds reject this binary, finding joy in the journey. Lakhiani illustrates this with Richard Branson, who turned business ventures into adventures, blending work with his passions for travel and innovation. The science behind bending reality involves your brain's ability to rewire itself, neuroplasticity, and the reticular activating system, AS, which filters information based on focus. By immersing yourself in positive emotions and clear goals, you prime your brain to spot opportunities. A study cited by Lakhiani shows that people who practice gratitude daily are 25% more likely to achieve their goals. He guides readers through creating a vision script, a vivid present-tense narrative of their ideal life. For instance, I wake up energized, coaching clients from my beachfront villa, then surf at sunset. This script is reviewed daily to align subconscious thinking with conscious desires. Before we move on, consider this. Intuition isn't mystical. It's your subconscious connecting dots your logical mind misses. Lakhiani explores the role of intuition, which he calls soul guidance. He shares how ignoring a gut feeling nearly led to a disastrous business partnership, while trusting intuition helped him avoid it. Techniques to access intuition include meditation, spending time in nature, and mind downloads. Stream of consciousness journaling. A case study features a musician who abandoned a stable teaching job to tour globally after repeatedly dreaming of performing. By honoring his intuition, he achieved breakthroughs he'd never planned logically. Becoming extraordinary. Laws for transcendent living. Lakhiani's 10 laws provide a scaffold for extraordinary living. The first law, transcend the culturescape, urges readers to live by design, not default. He shares how nomadic tribes in Mongolia measure wealth in livestock and community bonds, not money, a stark contrast to Western materialism. This law invites exploring alternative models, like minimalism or communal living, to find what resonates personally. The second law, question the Brules, involves systematic doubt. Lakhiani challenges the Brule that more money equals more happiness, citing research showing emotional well-being plateaus after $75,000 annually. He advocates testing Brules through experiments, e.g., taking a sabbatical to assess if career identity dictates self-worth. A CEO client discovered he was happier running a smaller, purpose-driven firm than a stressful conglomerate. Practice gratitude and appreciation, Law 6, is backed by neuroscience. Regular gratitude practice boosts serotonin and reduces activity in the brain's fear center. Lakhiani suggests a nightly ritual, listing 3 wins and 3 learnings. A depressed client used this to reframe setbacks as growth steps, eventually launching a mental health nonprofit. Embrace your quest, Law 10, frames life as a hero's journey. Lakhiani draws on Joseph Campbell's monomyth, urging readers to view challenges as threshold guardians, testing their resolve. An example, J.K. Rowling's rejections became the catalyst for refining Harry Potter. By adopting a quest mindset, failures become plot twists, not endpoints. Conclusion: the journey to extraordinary. Lakhiani closes by affirming that extraordinary living is a dynamic process, not a destination. It requires continuous self-auditing, courage to face discomfort, and compassion for one's imperfections. He revisits Mindvalley's evolution from a failed software startup to a global education hub, emphasizing that setbacks are data, not destiny. The book's ultimate message is that everyone possesses an extraordinary code, a unique blend of talents and passions waiting to be unlocked. This journey is not solitary. Lakhiani advocates building a tribe of like-minded visionaries who challenge and inspire. He shares how mastermind groups accelerated his growth, providing accountability and fresh perspectives. Readers are urged to seek mentors, attend transformative events, and share their journeys to uplift others. In the end, the code of the extraordinary mind is a call to live audaciously. It's a reminder that the Brules we inherit are optional and that true power lies in rewriting them. By embracing the book's laws, readers join a global movement of conscious creators, people who dare to turn their boldest visions into reality, one intentional choice at a time. Closing narration. And there it is, the choice that changes everything. Will you keep nodding to the rhythm of a world that never asked what you truly want? Or will you grab the pen and rewrite the code? Your code, one bold stroke at a time. Vishen Lakhiani didn't just write a book, he lit a fuse that detonates the Brules, burns away the shoulds, and leaves only the raw, pulsing truth of who you're meant to become. You now hold the map. The laws of extraordinary minds aren't theories, they're tools. Tools to dismantle fear, to bend time and reality, to turn your deepest whispers into a roar that shakes the culturescape. But here's the secret no one tells you. Transformation doesn't happen in the watching. It happens in the doing. In the moments you silence doubt and declare, my rules, my life, my legacy. So go ahead. Question the unquestionable. Work less but achieve more. Love like a revolution. Build a life so alive, so unapologetically yours, that it terrifies the old version of you because the world doesn't need more followers. It needs you, the unfiltered, unfuckwithable, extraordinary you. The one who doesn't just dream of a better world but builds it, breath by breath, starting today. This isn't goodbye. It's your hell yes echoing into the universe. The code is cracked. The path is clear. Now go bend reality. And if this resonated, hit that subscribe button. Your journey to extraordinary starts today. And we'll be here every step of the way.